is Michelle Wolf.
Hi guys, how are you? Good. That's good, great. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. It's very exciting. I don't know, this is actually, I'm doing like I have a podcast, but I hate podcasts. So I decided to just do stand-up as a podcast. So it is a stand-up show, but it's also being recorded. Well, the audio will go out. The video, I think, will also go out, but we're still figuring it out, guys. And you're just helping me, and I really appreciate that. It's very fun. It's this is the second one we've done, so I don't know, you're part of this, so give it up for yourselves. That guy, you kind of look like Tom Cruise. Do people tell you that sometimes? Yeah, it must feel nice. You look like a tall Tom Cruise. That's how you make Tom Cruise better. You make him tall. So well done. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. That's very exciting for some people. Some people love Valentine's Day. Some people hate Valentine's Day. Whatever it is, do your thing. Love it, hate it, do your thing. But if you want Valentine's Day to be a big deal, tell the person you're with, okay? Don't make them guess. If you like Valentine's Day, if it's important to you, tell them. Be like, I know we've only been dating for 6 minutes, but this holiday is incredibly important to me, so get me stuff. This is the number one thing that drives me crazy about people, and a lot of times it's women. Don't pretend to be easy breezy if you're not easy breezy. If you're not a no drama llama, if you don't pretend to be a no drama llama if you're like, a give a fuck duck. Or I'm gonna freak out trout. Or it's a big deal eel. I didn't know which animal to pick, so I just went with all three. Probably should have just stopped at duck. This was a very interesting week for me. So this is a weird thing that happens to me every once in a while. Every once in a while I'll get a call from Kim Kardashian to write something for her. I swear to God that happens. I've done several things for her now. And I mean, just by looking at me, can't you tell that I can really get inside Kim's brain? We're practically the same people. No, the fact is I'm just a good writer. That's what it is. I don't know. I wrote a Skims commercial for Kim last year. It was the one, I don't know if you saw this product come out. It was a bra that has these built-in hard nipples. Yep, I don't know. She's the billionaire. And she asked me to write a commercial for that, so I did, and it did very well. So she called me, and she had a new product coming out she wanted me to write a commercial for. It's this Skim shapewear that gives you a fake butt and bigger boobs. And she, it's for people like, us flat butt nerds over here, who the biggest curve we ever had was the backpack we wore on our back. So, and anytime I write for her, I do this. I always give her a couple of stuff, right? And there's always one that is my favorite that I'm absolutely sure she's not going to pick. The one I wrote for this time for the shapewear was it's all based off of a quote from the original Jurassic Park. Which was over 20 years ago at this point, but it was all this whole commercial was based off of the quote from Samuel L. Jackson when all the dinosaurs are, causing chaos and he has to turn off the power and he goes, hold on to your butts. So the commercial that I wrote was about how it's a crazy time in the world right now and there's no better time than to listen to the great Samuel L. Jackson and hold on to your butts. Now with Skim shapewear, you can get a bigger butt to hold on to. And I have a really good ending line for that. Oh, we should all try to make the world a kinder, better place. But in the meantime, hold on to your butts. She didn't want that one, which was fair. The other option I gave her, it was based off of, it was a spoof of Nara Smith. Do you guys know Nara Smith? She's the woman who makes a lot of food from scratch wearing fancy clothes on TikTok. You could look it up later. It's insufferable. She always like places things down on the counter like they're like a endangered baby rhino. It's really, everything about it makes me want to murder her. Wouldn't be hard. She has a tiny neck. Anyway, this is going to be weird when that is live streamed, right? People are going to be like, think she's threatening murder live. It's fine. Anyway, so this is a spoof off of that. And to be fair, there's been a lot of spoofs of Nara Smith, so it was fair to say no, but it would be Kim doing dressed like Nara and doing this elaborate baking and then saying, in a world where there's so much pressure to make everything from scratch, it's nice to have one thing that you can just pull out of the box. And then she takes like a cereal box, out, and she just pulls the shapewear out of it. And then you just have a butt out of a box. And sometimes it's okay to cut corners, especially when it gives you curves. I thought that was a pretty good line, right? That's not bad. Anyway, she didn't want that one. The one she ended up picking, which you can enjoy on her Instagram, is I made her the fairy butt mother. And so there's this girl who's in the gym and she's like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then Kim appears as the fairy butt mother and she's like, get up. And she's like, I know, I should get up. I should work for the body I want. I should. But she's like, but I'm already doing so much. I'm eating healthy. I'm getting protein. I'm drinking so much water. I'm doing self-care. I'm doing a skincare routine. I'm cold plunging. I'm hot saunaing. She does this whole list and she's like, can't there just be one thing that's easy? Kim Kardashian, can't there just be one thing? And they did take out a line that I really liked, which was her listing all this stuff. Like I'm doing self-care and skincare and I'm socializing and I'm journaling and I had to go. And also I can go on a date with a man who looks like he washes his face with shampoo. But then, so then Kim, she does this whole rant, and then Kim just, she does her little fairy thing. She goes bippity buppity boop, and she gives her a butt and boobs, and everyone's happy. And the hardest part about writing this commercial was trying to not make it sound like it was body shaming, because there's a fine line between have a butt if you want one and ew, look at your body. And I was trying to, skate that line. So one of the other news stories I wanted to talk about. So that's just a weird thing that happens to me sometimes. I write for Kim and it's bizarre. It's very bizarre, but it comes up every once in a while and we have a good time. But then, okay, so the other thing that was happening this week I wanted to talk about was there's been thousands of earthquakes on Santorini. Do you guys hear about this? There's been literally thousands of earthquakes on Santorini, which is there's a Hellenic volcano underneath it. That's how all those islands were made to begin with. Or Hellenic, probably said that wrong. And there's been thousands and thousands of earthquakes, and they're felt all around Santorini, and almost all the tourists have left, and a lot of the residents have left too. And I feel like it's just the island, because you know how so many people that go to Santorini are just influencers who are just taking insufferable Instagram pictures. I feel like the island is finally get off. I don't want you anymore. Get off. Anyway, there's nothing more to that joke. I just thought it was fun. This weekend was the Super Bowl. We talked about that a little bit. Who's my Kendrick guy? Who's the Kendrick marketer? Good for you. Shouldn't be too hard to market that. It's flying off the shelves. Well, I didn't watch the Super Bowl because, I was here in Spain, and also I don't like American football. And I really don't like Philadelphia or Kansas City. Both of those cities are probably the Cleveland of their state. If you don't know that reference because you're not American, you could just think of them, they're both the Hospitalet. Does that ring true? That's. But I didn't watch the game, but I did watch the halftime show the next day because I wanted to see what Kendrick did, and I'm sure that Drake also didn't watch the halftime show. I bet Drake just ate a bowl of his tears. But if you've been following the Kendrick and Drake feud, Kendrick has a line in Not Like Us that says, better not speak on Serena. And that's Serena Williams, of course, who Drake and Serena dated very briefly a long time ago. But for the halftime show, he had Serena come out and dance Crip walk to Not Like Us. And it was a really cool moment. It was definitely metaphorically dancing on Drake's grave. And there's a little bit of background is that Serena did this dance back in 2012. She Crip walked when she won the Olympic gold. She did it again after she won another Wimbledon. And interesting enough, this is another weird thing that happened to me. This summer, Serena hosted the ESPY Awards, which is this award show that we have in America and only in America, so it's probably not real. It's a sports award show, and she asked me to write her opening monologue for when she hosted it. And I know, I write for weird people sometimes. So Serena, she asked me to write for her the ESPYs, and I did. And I had her start with this, Not Like Us had just come out. So I had her start with, welcome to the ESPYs. I'm your host, Serena Williams. I'm so excited to celebrate sports tonight. Some of the best athletes in the world are here. Some of the strongest, fastest, and skilled people ever are here in this room. And if I learned anything this year, it's that none of us, not a single one of us, should ever pick a fight with Kendrick. And then I had them play the music. I had them play Not Like Us, and I had her Crip walk. And so I just think I sort of planted the seed for her to do it at the Super Bowl. But anyway, I thought it was very fun. And I should also say that I wrote what I thought were a lot of very fun jokes for the ESPYs. And Serena really liked it. And then I believe her PR team saw it. And they said, absolutely not. So they took out a lot of the jokes that I wrote and replaced them with less offensive ones. But I will read you one that they got rid of. I'm really excited to be here. I've wanted to host this show for years, literally since 2012. You know how long ago that was? Back then, the only men playing in women's sports was apparently me. And if you find that offensive, well, so did I when you said it. I feel like I should get a pass for any joke I say tonight that people find offensive because no one was getting in trouble for saying offensive things about me. And they weren't even jokes. They were comments by professional journalists and also Stephen A. Smith. If you guys don't know Stephen A. Smith, God bless you. Stephen A. Smith is a sports personality in America who just likes to throw shit around. He just wants attention. He gets it by making a mess. I think the A stands for asshole. But this does bring me to the other thing I want to talk about after the Super Bowl, is that Serena dances. Everyone loves it. It's a great moment. She looks amazing. It's very fun. And Stephen Asshole Smith, I should say, he said that if Serena was his wife, he'd divorce her for that because obviously she's still thinking of her ex. Which, first of all, I think we all know you can be completely moved on from your ex and still want them to hurt. I think that's very fair. That doesn't mean you still you still want to be with them, that just means they were an asshole and you'd like to see them hurt. Fine. Also, Stephen, you do not have to worry about ever divorcing Serena because you will never be married to Serena. She's not interested in you. And then he goes, and further, he said that anyone dating Serena is a kept man. And let me tell you, this brings me to a subject I've been thinking a lot about lately. Maybe we can make this into a segment called Mediocre Men. A lot of problems we have today in society is because of mediocre men and how insecure they are. A real man, a strong, confident man, would love to be married to a strong, confident woman. A woman who's independent and excellent. Being with a woman like that shows me that you have confidence. It shows me that you've evolved. Any man that can be with a strong woman, any man that can't be with a strong woman, you look weak. You look like you haven't evolved, and I see you as a less of a man. A man who supports his wife's dreams and pursuits, you look strong. A man who recognizes his wife is excellent and has her back while she pursues something, you look strong. A man who can't take that his wife is successful and driven, you look like your penis is very small. All these men who are fumbling around, they're saying like men are whipped if you're too emotional. No, you don't look macho. You look like you can't handle it. You look weak. If you can't be emotional or appreciate art without it seeming gay, you look weak. All these men who feel like they need to assert their dominance by saying women aren't capable or making it like a successful woman isn't sexy, you look weak. And taken to the extreme, if you feel the need to steal land and spend billions of dollars of murdering children, you look weak. Someone who knows they're great would never want to keep people from participating because you know it wouldn't matter. If you're great, let all the people come in. Let the women come in. Let the DEI hires come in. And be like, oh, it's no match for me. I'm very, very good at my job. If you're worried about them, it's probably because you're bad at your job. You look weak. What did I say? Oh, yeah. It's just not sexy. It's not compelling. All these guys look like bitchy little cunts. That's what you look like. Like, I get it. You're like trying to hold on to power. But, you know, out in the wild, you're the weak gazelle. Everyone can see that it's just, you need to forcibly hold on to power because it's going to get taken from you. And I'm sure there's a lot of men out here that hear this and they're like, ugh, another angry woman. Yeah, of course I'm angry because I'm surrounded by bitchy little cunts. That concludes my segment on mediocre men. If it made you mad, it's probably because you are one. If you've followed me, if you've been a fan of mine for any period of time, you would know that my favorite sport is track, that I love to run. I know a lot of people don't like track. I know a lot of people don't care about the sport. But it's my podcast, and I absolutely love it. And this past weekend was a great weekend in track and field. It was very, very exciting, guys. Indoor track and field is back. And I know everyone's like, track, it's just people running around in circles. First of all, it's an oval. And second of all, if you describe any sport with the literal words of what it actually is, they all sound pretty fucking dumb. Like European football is just a bunch of men running around kicking a ball trying to get into a rectangle. Tennis is just people hitting a ball with a racket, keeping it in a rectangle, but also going over a net until someone misses. And then the scoring, they use some numbers and also some words. Golf is out-of-shape men pretending they're playing a sport while dressed like a substitute teacher, trying to escape their own reality, only have to end the game and rejoin it, like a less hardworking Sisyphus. That one's just kidding. Golf's not a sport. But guys, track is great. I absolutely love it. And it's the craziest thing that's happening in track and field right now is that there's not a lot of great things happening in America, but the one most surprising great thing that's happening in America right now is that American distance running is thriving. And that's absolutely insane. At this meet, there's a meet called the Millrose Games in New York last weekend. 2 world records were broken by Americans in distance running. It's normally the Kenyans, Ugandans, Ethiopians. Every once in a while you can throw a Moroccan in there. It's never the Americans. That should tell you how bad things are in America right now. Even the Americans are like, we got to run to a better life. So 2 world records. The first was by Grant Fisher. He's a Stanford alum. He won the bronze medal in both the 5K and the 10K in the Paris Olympics. And he just broke the 3,000 meter indoor record. Right behind him in second place was Cole Hocker, who won the gold in the 1500 of the Paris Olympics. And he also broke the world record, but of course Grant beat him, so Grant got the world record. They ran 3,000 meters in 7 minutes and 22 seconds. Do you know how fast that is per 1 lap around the track? That's 59 seconds a lap. None of us could do that for 1 lap, and they did it for 4. That's absolutely insane. That's really, really crazy. And then the second world record that was broken, it was by Notre Dame alum, which that's one of my favorite American words, Notre Dame, because it's like, you know how some people get really mad when you pronounce like foreign words like too foreign, you know, like if people are like mozzarella, you know. In America, we're like, it's Notre Dame. It's not Notre Dame, it's Notre Dame. You couldn't have butchered that word worse. Anyway, Notre Dame alum, Yared Nuguse, the Goose. He won bronze medal in the 1500 at the Olympics, and he broke the indoor world record in the mile. He ran a mile in 3 minutes and 46 seconds. How fast did you run it in middle school? Maybe what? Best 7 minutes, 8 minutes? What you got? Anyone here have a fast mile? What is yours? 450, that's pretty good. 346 is more than a minute faster than that. That's absolutely insane. And 450 is a ridiculously fast mile. Very good for you, by the way. So anyway, I'm very proud of those guys. It was a very fun and exciting meet to watch. Also at this particular meet, if you break a world record, they give you an extra $25,000 in prize money. And both of these guys in separate interviews were asked what they were going to do with the money. And both of them were like, well, you know, I'd probably put it in savings because, you know, in this economy. Which shows you 2 things you need to know about track and field. 1, they are paid reasonably well, but not a lot. And 2, things aren't great in America. Not in this economy. Also, apparently that's what we're doing in America. Everything's based on the price of eggs right now. The price of eggs is very, very important. Everyone's talking about the price of eggs, how expensive eggs are. And I get it. We're trying to like measure, you know, the expense of things. And it's more of a metaphor, but also, how many fucking eggs are people eating? Everyone's talking about eggs. I'm like, do you have like 4 dozen for breakfast? Are you all like these Gascons running around out here? Just like you Rocky, just pounding raw egg milkshakes every morning? Jesus, get a hold of yourself, America. This is one of my favorite stories from the week. Karla, Sofía, Gascón. Is she Spanish?
Yes.
She is Spanish. Where is she from?
Madrid.
Right, you said it. I can't pronounce things. I'm so sorry. I can't do it. I'm not even going to try. It's going to be embarrassing for everybody, but particularly me, but for everybody. So Karla Sofía Gascón, she stars in the movie Emilia Perez, which is already a little bit problematic because it was made by some French and Belgian people. And but most of it was set in Mexico, and most of Mexico and the Spanish-speaking world are like, no, that's not how you speak Spanish. No bueno. It probably sounds like me speaking Spanish. It's probably like, ¿qué tal? You know. I'm trying, guys. But anyway, so which is also, how classic French is that? Because you know how French people are so French. You know, they're just so like, you speak our language. Like it's so, and then they're like, yeah, but Spanish, do whatever you want with it. So this woman, Karla Sofía Gascón, she's a trans woman, and she's the first trans woman nominated for Best Actress. And she's in a lot of trouble right now because she had these older tweets exposed. I mean, not that old. They're from like 2020, you know? It's not like, they're from like 2010. She's like, it's not like, they're not from before she transitioned, you know, where she could be like, I was a different person, you know? But these tweets are from after she transitioned. And a lot of the tweets were very Islamophobic. And I just think that if you can turn your penis into a vagina, maybe other people should just be able to follow whatever religion they like. Like, it's very, very crazy to be like, listen, I was born a woman, I was just born in the wrong body, and I need you to respect my truth. And someone to be like, okay, I hear you. I believe that there is one God, Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. And then she's like, that's crazy! And you're maybe a terrorist. So, you know, if you want to be people to understand you, maybe try to be understanding of them is the lesson we can all walk away from there. No bueno. I think that was my favorite joke of the week. I really like that one. Oh, this is also very exciting. More Greenland news this week. We've never talked about Greenland this much in our entire lives, have we? Greenland is having a moment. It's like when Brussels sprouts became popular. So, you know, Trump wants to buy Greenland. I didn't know countries were available for purchase. Does anyone want to buy America? Is that, if we're selling stuff, anyone want to take that over? I don't know, maybe Elon already did it. That's a good possibility. So a congressman, he introduced a bill proposing that we buy Greenland and we rename it Red, White, and Blue Land. Which is like such a childish proposal, first of all. But also, do you know how many countries have flags that are red, white, and blue? Like so many of them. I knew I could picture a lot of them, and then I looked it up, and it's so many more than Croatia's one of them. Who is the Croatia person? Croatia, that's red, white, and blue. Of course, we've got France, we've got the Netherlands, the UK, Australia, Thailand, North Korea, Russia, Cuba, Iceland. Iceland is also red, white, and blue. It's right by Greenland. By the way, for something like, we are so proud of being red, white, and blue. And part of it's just like, relax, guys. Betsy Ross, she just rearranged the British flag. It's not that impressive. Yeah, let's go after Betsy. So then, then in addition, Trump also said this week, in addition to wanting to buy Greenland, he said that America will just have Gaza. It will just be ours. I guess you don't have to buy that one. You can just take that one. That's a good old American spirit for you. Trump, he actually said, what he said was, we will hold it and we will cherish it. And it's like, man, Gaza has been through enough. It does also not need to be sexually assaulted by you. I feel like we are really in the era of like the rich idiot asshole. Like, we see these guys like Elon and Trump and Bezos and Kanye, definitely Kanye, and they're all idiots. And the toxic trait that some of us people have is that we don't condemn them because we're like, well, maybe I'll be that guy someday. It's like, first of all, you're never gonna be that guy, but like, also, you can be an asshole no matter how much money you have. You don't have to be a billionaire to be an asshole. If you want to be an asshole, be one right now. It's fine. You can be a poor asshole. You might not be able to break as many laws, but you can still be an asshole. I just can't imagine having that amount of money and not using it to like fix all the things that our government isn't fixing. You know, like instead of helping people in power, these guys are just stopping aid from getting to like the poorest people in the world. I feel like these guys are so evil that if they were like visited by all those like Christmas ghosts, they would have been like, oh, if I keep doing this, Timmy's gonna die. Well, I never liked him anyway. He's kind of a bitch, so. And like all these rich idiot assholes, they all seem to have this ego where it's like, well, if I'm good at one thing, I should be good at everything. Which is like, that's not true, Kanye. I'm talking about you now, Kanye. You're a great rapper, great music producer. Kind of stops there. You're a misogynist. You're clearly anti-Semitic. Feels like he's like, if I tweet enough about Jews, maybe people will forget I was at all those Diddy parties. And it's like, that's not how this works. Also, a lot of them are lawyers. This is like, Kanye's like, I'm funny. I'm funnier than Dave Chappelle. It's like, my man, I hate to burst your manic bubble here, but you are not funny. I can almost guarantee when you're like at Yeezy, you're like the type of boss who makes his employees watch videos. Have you ever had a boss like that? Who's like, this is so funny, you gotta watch this. And then you're watching it and you're like, I gotta, this is porn. I think this is porn. Pretending that Kanye is funny is like pretending that Drake won. It's like, no, you didn't, man. This is why we need more women in charge. Because I'm not saying that women wouldn't be assholes too, but people would be way more critical of them. People would keep them in check. Wouldn't be over here gargling their balls. I think some people think that if they put Elon's balls far enough down their throat that they'll just turn into him. That's not happening when you eat testicles, by the way. You don't turn into whoever's testicles you ate. I should know. There's this big news this week. This is straight from the White House, and it's not going to affect you guys until we burn the whole world down, which is coming. But good news for us, we're back to plastic straws. So exciting, so exciting. Trump threw out Biden's plan to phase out single-use plastic. He threw it out like it was single-use plastic. Threw that plan right into a turtle's nose. No more paper straws, which honestly, Paper's probably pretty happy about that too. Paper's probably like, yeah, I didn't want to be around your hot chicken mouth anymore either. But I honestly, this one, I blame environmentalists for this one because no one ever liked paper straws. That was never going to be the solution. No one ever used a paper straw and thought, this is a good alternative. There's like, I feel like paper straws were a trick. I feel like plastic made paper straws in order for people to both hate paper straws and the environment. Because like, they suck. They don't suck. They actually don't pick up anything. Like, I feel like they were like, the paper straws is like, if this is what it takes to save the environment, no thanks. Sorry, kids. If you want it fixed, you're gonna have to figure out something else. But what always drives me crazy about paper straws is that you get paper straws in plastic cups. And that made me wanna fucking burn the place down. Because what are we doing? Why? And they're like, well, the paper straw, the straw can go right up a turtle's nose. Well, I'll put this cup in the turtle's nose. And if not, I'm gonna put it in your butt. Something is happening. This is absolutely insane. And there's always been a better solution. Bamboo has been there the whole time. The whole time, bamboo has been there. There's so much bamboo, it grows like a weed. There's not even those fat-ass pandas can eat all of it. Yeah, now we're gonna go after pandas. Trump rolling back the plan to get rid of single-use plastic. Look, I know it's fun to make Greta Thunberg mad and everything, but I feel like a big contingent of Americans also think that recycling or doing stuff for the environment is either like gay or like Canadian. And Trump, I think he actually had opportunity to get a lot of people on his side with this. He could have been like, yeah, paper straws, they suck. We all know that. Even Eric knows that. But we're going to start using bamboo. It's great, big, beautiful bamboo. All these pandas have been hoarding the bamboo, which makes sense because they're from China. I don't have a good Trump impression, but there it is. I really think Trump missed an opportunity. He had an opportunity to do something very, very fun, which is make environmentalists have to say thank you. Can you imagine? I mean, that's what I would have done. If you can be like, this people that hate me, and they're going to be like, well, I guess that one thing you did was pretty cool. And you could have made the MAGA people happy because bamboo straws are actually really good. And, heaven forbid any of us just go like this with a cup. But you know who bamboo and paper never made happy? Oil and gas, because that's what it takes to make plastic. And we can't upset oil and gas. Those two industries are the real people. Also, pandas wouldn't be happy, but I don't think they're ever happy, those cunty raccoon bears. It's fun to make fun of pandas. They seem miserable. This is a little fun thing we do on the podcast, just to wrap up the podcast. We like to do a thing called Jam, Not My Jam, where a listener sends in a list of things, and I say if they're my jam or not my jam, which means I like them or not like them. I don't know if that translates to wherever people are from here. I really am looking out at the crowd, and I have no idea. I'm like, you guys could be from anywhere. Okay, so Jam, Not My Jam. Award shows for the arts, like Oscars, Grammys, Emmys, Tonys. Not my jam. New award show for stand-up comedy. Well, that's the thing. We would never have an award show that you guys could watch because we would all say things that you wouldn't be allowed to hear. Timothy Chalamet. Not my jam. I hate that fucking half mustache. Ski chalets. Jam. Who doesn't like a ski chalet? Foreign films, jam sometimes. Short film, jam all the time. Snuff films, not my jam. Snuff the tobacco product, not my jam, but I think it's adorable to call it snuff. This has been Jam, Not My Jam. Guys, this is my podcast. It is called ThoughtBox. You can watch it wherever, or listen to wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, you can live stream it coming up on Punch Up. And I'll do this show every week, but it'll be a new show every single week. So new jokes, feel free to come back, tell your friends. Anybody have any questions or anything? Anything exciting you guys want to talk about?
You're
No?
great.
Hmm?
You're great.
Oh, thank you so much. I love your Pokemon. I'm not at all scared of it. Thank you guys. Yeah.
How did you end up here in Barcelona?
Oh, just, classic independent woman following a boy. Yeah. But it's just us two independent women. Yeah. Anyone else? No? You guys have been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. Tell your friends, come back. I love you so much. This has been ThoughtBox. Have a great night.
ThoughtBox.